Well, good morning. Here it is. It's Tuesday morning. Today is it's March the 19th, and I hope that I hope you had a wonderful Monday. I hope you had a good day. Hope you had a good a good start, a good beginning to this week that God has given us. It's of course the week before the Holy Week, and we're starting to kind of ease into talking about things about Easter. And but anyway, hope this morning finds you feeling well. I hope that you're doing good this morning. Hope that you were able to have a very restful night, and now ready to tackle the opportunities that God has given us on this brand new day. And anyway, we had some beautiful weather yesterday. Hopefully, we'll have some of the same today. And anyway, but God will honor it. And anyway, this morning I want to share with you a devotional. What makes God cry? In Luke chapter 19, verse 41, it says, "But as he came closer to Jerusalem and saw the city ahead, he began to weep." The crowd rejoiced, but Jesus, he wept. His ministry was almost over. Time was getting short. He had healed their sick. He had raised their dead. I mean, he had fed their hungry and forgiven their sins. Yet by and large, he remained mostly alone and rejected. Jesus knew, that in a short time, one of his own handpicked disciples would betray him for 30 pieces of silver. And he knew that, Caiaphas, Pilate and Herod, they would conspire against him to bring about his death. But not only that, Jesus, he knew that the same fickle crowds that were shouting, his praises on that day, soon they would be shouting, "Crucify him." He knew those crowds would reap the full benefit, or reap the full impact, of their sin, because they missed the day of their salvation. And this is the second time that we read Jesus weeping openly. He also wept at the tomb of Lazarus. And even though he knew he would raise Lazarus from the dead, you see, he still wept over the pain and the anguish that death brings about. Jesus being God, he was omniscient. He knew the future. He saw the destruction that would come upon Jerusalem in just 40 years. 4 decades later, in AD 70, the Romans, they laid siege, to Jerusalem. And after 143 days, they had killed 600,000 Jewish people, and they took thousands of others captive. The Jewish historian Josephus, he tells us that, during this siege, the rivers of blood flowed through the gates of the city, and the beloved temple, it burned to the ground, fulfilling Jesus' prophecy. You see, he had said the following of the temple in Matthew chapter 24, verse 2. He said, "Do you see all these buildings? I tell you the truth, they will be completely demolished. Not one stone will be left on top of another." This broke Jesus' heart, because unbelief and rejection break God's heart. You see, he knows the consequences. God created the world. He placed the planets in orbit. He made the light to shine out of darkness. But when someone closes, their heart to him, he won't forcibly enter. You see, he will knock, but he will not make people, believe him. They have their own free will to choose. And of course, when people believe, God is happy. And when they reject him, he's sad, because he knows they will reap the repercussions of that. Not only a future judgment, but also the repercussions in their lifetime. Sometimes people, they come to me and they say, they're going to do thus and so. And I tell them they really shouldn't be doing that. And I explain that, what the Bible says about it. And usually they say something along the lines of, hey, don't judge me. And then a few years later, they've made a wreck of their lives, or the lives of their family members, because of the decisions they made. That's what sin does to people. And it makes me sad, to see the devastation and the ruin and the misery that it brings into a life. As Jesus, rode into Jerusalem, on what we now celebrate as Palm Sunday, he demonstrated sadness when he saw what was about to happen to those people, and he wept. And just as Jesus wept over, what he was seeing, what he saw was going to happen in Jerusalem. Sometimes I weep over our country and what it's becoming, and we need to have a heart for those that are lost around us, and make sure that we at least tell them and plant that seed. So anyway, I hope that encourages you here on this Tuesday morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember, Angie and I, we love you guys, and we're praying for you. And Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless you.